Hi, Roxanne. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, good. So I'm Donnie. I'm going to be doing your intake session today. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about, informed consent. That just basically means that, you have the right to know how therapy works, including the risks, talking about tough stuff and the benefits of the growth. You're completely in the driver's seat. So I want you to know that this is a safe space and you can feel able to be free in here because that's gonna be leading right into the confidentiality piece. So I like to think of this space as a vault. The only reason for me to open that vault is if I feel that you're in danger of hurting yourself, or I suspect neglect or abuse of a child, elder, or another dependent adult, or if a court orders me to release those records. So everything that is said in here will stay in here between me and you. Does that make
Okay.
any sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Have any questions before we jump in?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. I also have some notes here, so I might be looking down every now and then. And I'm new to the
Okay,
whole Zoom and teledoc, so I'm looking at you, but the screen may look like I'm looking somewhere else.
that's fine. Thank you. I'm
Uh,
used to that
so
at work.
there you go. Have you been to therapy before?
Yeah, in the past, but it's been quite a while.
Okay. Do you remember what you liked about it or disliked about the experience?
Um, I don't really remember anything I liked or disliked. It just is like one more thing on my to-do list. And so I just had a hard time keeping up with it and making that a priority. It just didn't happen.
Okay, I can totally see how that happens. I mean, we're all busy every day, so trying to make that space for you can be difficult at sometimes. So this intake, it's going to help me build a map of your life. So let's talk about like the what do you would say the loudest thing in your life right now that made you actually reach out today?
Um, I'm really struggling at work and not with my actual work, but with my coworkers. Uh I work in a small office and there's a lot of people and a lot of personalities and like my I share an office with someone and everyone else that's in our suite like is in that office space all the time and I feel like I can't get anything done and I get people will come in and want to like take their little moments away, right? Because everyone deserves that. I get that. I'm not trying to take that away from
Mhm.
anyone, but like all of those moments away for everyone else in my suite are happening in my office that I already share with another person. And that person that I share an office with is a wonderful human, but just a very, very strong personality and a big personality. And it feels like I'm constantly like, because we have the same job, right? So it feels like I'm
Mhm.
constantly competing to be like the one actually doing my job. And then,
Yeah.
competing for time to do my work. And, God forbid, like, where do I get a minute to myself? Like if everyone's taking their break in my office, and so it's just very hard to navigate all of that. And I come home and, I'm a social worker. So, like, that work is tiring anyway. And then I
Mhm.
come home and I'm exhausted. I'm mentally and just spent. And, then there's all the things of home that those aren't the loudest things. Right now, the loudest thing is work. And how do I get through that? And like how do I keep the peace with this person that I share an office with, right? Because
Mhm.
if I get upset or say, I don't like when you do that, right, then I'm risking that relationship and that shared space that I'm going to have to go back to tomorrow.
Gotcha. Yes, I can definitely see how that can be exhausting. You sounds like you feel like you're constantly doing things for other people and there's just not enough to do for yourself, excuse me. Let's see. So let's talk about growing up. How'd you handle family disagreements or, telling no to people?
um well, I'm the youngest of three, and I just I don't know, telling people no. That's not really my jam. I don't really do that. So I don't know how to answer that question. I just had to go along to get along as the youngest, right? Like, um, my oldest sister. is 8 years older than me. So she, at points throughout our childhood, she's like the other de facto parent, right? So she's another authority. And then my brother is 2 years older than me, and he's very much I'm not going to say favorite because that's not right. The preferred, right? Because he's the only boy. And I'm oh crap, we could still have children kid, right? So, like, I'm just there.
Okay, okay. That's a good insight. So how does that easy persona play out with you and your colleagues and your supervisors?
I think I just keep everything inside, right? So, like, when I'm in my office and people, I feel like everyone has really tough things going on in their lives right now, and I'm really sympathetic to that. And so people come in and, they want to vent about the things going on in their lives. And if I wasn't working, that would be fine.
Mhm.
But I don't have it in me to be like, I can't do this right now. Like, it feels like I'm telling someone that the things that they're struggling with aren't important. And I would never want to do that. I would never want someone to do that to me. And the problem is that it's not just short. It's not brief. It goes on and
Yeah.
on. And so, and now I've forgotten what you asked me because I'm just
That's
venting. I'm sorry.
oh no, you're totally fine. This is a safe space, like I said. It sounds like that childhood role of being easy has kind of followed you into your adult career. And you may be using some passive communication just to keep the peace, because it's causing you significant internal stress. Does that feel accurate?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Okay, okay. How about we try we're gonna try a little bit of assertiveness, using your adult voice.
Okay.
So I know it can be nervous sometimes because, like I say, you follow a pattern, so this is what you're used to. So thinking about your boss or someone coming in your office, maybe asking you to work another shift on a Friday, and instead of being passive and saying okay or saying a no, we can try and use some I statements. Have you ever heard of those I statements?
No.
Okay, so I statements are gonna talk about how you feel as opposed to the emotion. So, for instance, if you're feeling a little uneasy about working a weekend but don't know how to tell your boss, you would say, I feel like that emotion because you've asked me to work and it's interfering with such and such. That kind of.
Okay.
So, how
Okay.
about
I
we
can try.
practice by, so I feel overwhelmed because I need time to recharge and I can't take more hours this Friday. Does that sound like something you can maybe use instead of just saying yes?
I mean, I can try. May not do great, but I can certainly give it a try.
Okay, okay. I know it feels weird because it sounds like it's direct, but it also feels like you can be honest with what you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'll give it a try.
Okay, thanks.